Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, the day that we call Monday, the month that we call December, the date that we call the 22nd, in the year that we call 2025. It is about 6:45 a.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. So we're getting on. It's going to be light here soonish. Let me just... I don't think the camera's set up right. I think you're up too high. We'll see what happens as we go. So it is starting to get light. I wasn't on last week. I'm telling you, I am coming off of caffeine. I'm down to 1 cup. I have 1 cup in the morning. And caffeine doesn't make me feel awake. It doesn't do any of that stuff. So I don't feel the effects of it. But it is a stimulant, and it does treat the body as a stimulant, even if you don't feel it. And it must have been doing something for me. I had some sort of a caffeine addiction because I have had a headache every single day since I've only been having 1 cup. I get 1 cup in the morning, and my head has been pounding since I started doing this. So that's why you haven't seen me. In the morning, my head is just pounding, and yeah, I haven't been on in the morning. I've done everything I can to get rid of the headache, which is very stubborn. It's stubborn. I think it's caffeine withdrawals. And I'm trying to think. I remember years ago cutting sugars out of my diet and going through a sugar withdrawal. And I can't remember if it was 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks of feeling absolutely crappy. And then my body adjusted. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to think how long it's been since I've only allowed myself the 1 cup. I think probably, I don't know, it feels like forever. It feels like a very long time. Probably hasn't been that long, though. So anyway, that's why you haven't seen me. This has been way harder than I thought it was going to be. I guess I wasn't thinking that I would end up having caffeine withdrawal headaches. I know that's happened to people that have stopped drinking soda. I don't drink soda, so but I know that people have stopped drinking Pepsi and Coca-Cola and stuff, and they weren't coffee drinkers; they were soda drinkers, and they had really bad headaches from it. So I think that's what's going on, and I'm looking forward to the day that these stop completely. So, yeah, even this morning I'm just not feeling great, but I feel bad I haven't been on. So I wanted to come on and say hi to you guys and let you know that I'm alive and I'm well. I am going through caffeine withdrawals, I believe. And I've just had a headache every single freaking day. It's been icky. It's been very icky. So, what's going on with the world? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I have been very wrapped up in my family and getting ready for the holiday, and really just working to keep my vibration high and stay happy, and yeah, just that kind of stuff. So I've disconnected from the world because I feel like that's the least important thing for me right now. My family is the most important thing. And myself, just keeping myself in a good place and my vibes high. And then of course my clients being there for them full throttle. And other than that, I've just deliberately not looked at the world stage because I just don't feel like it's for me. It's all just a bunch of fakery and psyops and things designed to trigger people's emotions and create public outrage to get people wanting or advocating for change and for more to come. And it's not for me, you guys. So, yeah, so I don't know what's going on and I don't care. And it's just how it is, right? So here in Maine, we got a hell of a storm over the weekend. My area got like 50-mile-an-hour winds, but I think some areas in Maine did get up to 60 with driving rain and 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was crazy. Lots of fog. It was crazy. That wind was coming from every direction, and I had to be out in it that day. I was soaked. I was just soaked, and it took away all of our snow. But the good news is we have snow coming. I think we have it coming tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I think we've got more coming over the weekend. I think Friday, I think we've got it coming Saturday and Sunday. So I think Friday is the only day that we're not going to have snow, which makes me so happy to know that it's going to be snowing consistently leading up to Christmas, and especially like Christmas Eve. It feels always so magical to me to have snow on Christmas Eve. So I'm tickled about that. So that today it's really cold. It's 4 degrees. But it's 80 degrees in here. I've got my wood stove cranking. So that's nice. So let's get a universal message, because I've had several people say to me that they're all pissed off about the stuff going on via the news and the world stage. And I said, why do you pay attention to it? It's all just a stage. It's a show. It's designed to create public outrage, and it's designed to trigger emotions, and it's designed to get people who aren't awake to wake up. And if you're awake, why pay attention to it? Like, why follow it that closely? Especially if it's triggering you. That steals your joy. So, I don't know. I look at everything and I'm just like, yeah, that's another psyop. The Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk's wife there, whatever her name is, like, this big faux fight, just like the Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene faux fight, and it's just all theater. Why pay attention? But what I do pay attention to is the universe and my creator and my spiritual team and the spiritual signs that I'm given, the things that I'm shown, and where my heart's at, where my emotions are at, how I'm feeling. These are the things that I pay attention to. And I stay aware. I stay aware of the things that are happening in my community, and I stay aware of the things that are happening, that are really happening. You know what I mean? And I just stay away from all the fake BS. So let's take a look at what the universe would like to say to us today as we approach Christmas. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Christmas. It's intentions. What are your intentions for that day? Everything in life is about intentions. Be intentional. Be intentional. So if it's a day of love and good tidings and intentional wishes of harmony and balance and peace and joy and love for yourself, your family, and the world, and you celebrate that, and you celebrate the universe and all the magic of it and life, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's all intention. Be intentional. So let's take a look at what the universe would like to say to us. Let's pull one card, and we'll get the start of a story, and then we'll lay a 7-card spread. And we're going to call it good at that, because today I still have a headache, and so I'm looking forward to hopping in a really, really hot shower and just letting the hot water pound on my head. But let's see. So please and thank you, a true story. Insight, clarity, advice, or just something that you think we could benefit to hear right now as the energy stands. Start with one card. I'll pull one card, and then I'll shuffle some more, and I'll lay a 7-card spread so that we can get a universal message from our Creator, that which loves all in creation and created all in creation, from our highest versions of selves that are directly connected into our Creator, and what our highest versions of selves would like to lend to that, and our spiritual teams, that which have our highest and greatest good for intentions only and always, would like to say to us as we end this year. We're on the 22nd. We're very close to finishing the year out, which is 2025. That breaks down to a number 9 in numerology. That is completions and in cycles. We're very close to ending the year out and beginning 2026, which is a 10, which is a 1 amplified by 0, which is new beginnings, fresh starts, awakening, alignment, lots of that going on with the new year, universally, worldwide. So let's take a look, please and thank you. What would you like to say what do you think we can most benefit to hear right now, today, as the energy stands? Please and thank you. With one card, let's get the beginning. One more shuffle. All right. And let's shuffle them up a little bit. You guys probably can't see that. That's the Page of Wands. We're using the Deviant Moon deck. So the Page of Wands, that's my Skating on Thin Ice card, but it is safeguards in place, safeguards taken to make sure all will remain well. So now let's just get these shuffled. We'll do a 7-card spread. One more, and we'll cut them. And we will get that 7-card spread. Oh, this is interesting. Interesting. Ooh. Let's see. Let's just pull you back a little tiny bit. How's that? That's gonna work. All right, let me get a sip of this one coffee that I've been nursing for like 4 hours. Try to make it last me. I take a sip and then I'm making it last me. I'm all out of that chicory stuff to replace it. I need to get some more of that. All right. So let's get started, you guys. So the first card that we got, the first card that we drew to start the story is the Page of Wands. There you go. You can see it because it's starting to get light out. So the Page of Wands, we've talked about this in this deck. He's going across that thin ice there on stilts. So it's like it's that sketchy card where things feel unsafe. And it's like, oh, this is the most dangerous track. You'd feel like that, right? It would seem like that. But a lot of thought has actually gone into this. And even though it seems dangerous, it's the quickest way to get us there, right? So he could have gone around this. It would have been a longer journey. But he's decided, he thought about it. And he built himself some stilts. And he is quickly going across this thin ice on stilts. I know it seems silly, but if he breaks through, he's still going to be above water. So safeguards have been put into place. So we're taking the quickest journey, the fastest journey right now. It seems really sketchy, but safeguards are in place. We'll always stay above water, right? And with this page, it's a fresh energy, so it's never been done before, right? So this is something that's never really been done before. Now, so that's where we started. So the universe says, listen, you guys, I know that it feels like you're going across thin ice and things feel very sketchy to you right now. But safeguards have been in place. This is the fastest way to get you there. And it does feel very sketchy, but there is life in this journey. I don't know if you can see that, but these rods do have blooms on them. Not flowers, but leaves. Greenery. There is life in this journey, though it feels very sketchy. This has never been done before. This is a fresh energy, right? But there are safeguards in place to keep you safe. So that's where we start the story. Now let's go to the energy that's driving everything, all right? So the energy that is driving everything right now is the Hermit. That's a higher arcana card. And again, this is the Deviant Moon deck, right? So in this deck, the Hermit, it's like almost crazy making energy as it completes cycles with that 9. So it's a retreat. They've retreated into this cave. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They're in this cave because things are almost crazy making. So they've become hermited. And, cycles are ending. Even though they're in this cave and it's almost like it feels crazy to them. In this deck, those toenails are painted red. And so there's a sense of being well-grounded, even though it's like a crazy-making time, right? It's a well-grounded. So you're in the cave because, it feels crazy. You don't want to see the shit that's going on. You don't want to hear it. You've retreated to where you feel safe. You are very well grounded. It's just that the outside world is a bit crazy. And, you're going to stay there until this cycle of craziness ends. And that's what's driving the whole reading. Okay? So it's this crazy making energy that looks crazy, sounds crazy, but it's actually completing a cycle. And, don't look at it. Don't listen to it. It's probably not meant for you. Stay well grounded and be very logical. Now above that, we have the 7. We have the 7 of rods. And for this little girl, she's about 12. She's just a little girl. She's going down this path at night and all of the rods around her are bloomed. But it's a very sketchy feeling path because she's alone. She's a little girl. And it's pretty dark. There's only a sliver of a moon. And it's so dark as she's going down this twisting, kind of curving path that she has to put her hands out in front of her because she needs to make sure that, she's not bumping into anything. So she's alone in the dark going down this path she doesn't necessarily know very well. She's got her hands out in front of her, feeling her way through it. And it's a little sketchy, but it's my on point, on path card. Because if you look, those rods have like these magnificent blooms at the very top, right? So right now, just with these 3 cards that I've read, we're going through a time that's very new. It's a very new type of time with this page of rods. It feels as though we're skating on thin ice. It feels very sketchy, but there are safeguards in place to keep us above water. We have the Hermit. This is a crazy making time. It's ending some cycles. It's just crazy making. Stay very well grounded. Maybe don't listen. Don't look at the stuff that's making you feel crazy. If any of you are experiencing that, just stay really well grounded and passionate with those red toenails, right? Very passionate. Stay very courageous. Keep your vibration high so that you're full of vitality with those red toenails. And, allow the outside world to do whatever it needs to do while we go through these sketchy times. You look at it from a higher place. The Hermit it's a higher knowing, right? It's a much higher knowing. So look at it from a much higher place. Stay logical, stay grounded, stay full of vitality, passion, courage. View it with different eyes. View it from the cave, looking out where you have a clearer perspective. Know that we're on point and on path. This is just a dark period of the path. I wonder what's going on. I'm disconnected. I've been doing, decorating and cooking and cleaning and get-togethers with family, and I've been focusing on my family. But it might seem like it's a bit of a dark time right now. And so with that 7 of rods, you got to continue to seek, right? And with this, seek the information, seek the knowledge, seek the higher perspective with this Hermit, because that's what's driving everything. Know that cycles are ending, safeguards are in place. This is an on point, on path time. Trust that process. And above that, we have the Queen of Wands, and she manifests things, and she manifests well. She's quite the manifester. And she can be good or she can be bad, right? But she's at the very top of our pathway, you guys. So this journey that we're on has been manifested into being for a very, very, very long time, okay? So that's our pathway. So remember, this has been something that it had a starting point. It's been going on for a very long time, and we're to a place in our journey that might feel sketchy, it might feel very dark, it might feel crazy making. But we're on point, on path. Safety measures have been put in place, and just have a higher, use your higher perspective, okay? Okay, so now that we've gone over that, let's start this particular layout. So we're laying this out with the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, that's emotions, right? High emotions. Her cup overfloweth. Her cup overflows right into her hand. She's bracing underneath this cup to catch her emotions. So crazy making is driving the reading, right? Sketchy feeling, highly triggered emotional time. So a highly triggered emotional time going on right now. And it would look like a lot of this, people are getting very emotional and whatnot. Across from that, we have this 4. So we have the 4 of Pentacles, you guys. And the Pentacles are earthly pleasures, right? Anything of value to you. And anything of value in the world. Because Pentacles are the worldly, our earth card, earth symbols, right? So yes, this can represent money, banking systems, all sorts of things. All sorts of earthly pleasures. So think of anything that you find of value, like your family, your friends, your cat, your dog, your animals, horses, whatever you have for animals, your home, your bank account, your vehicle, your job, your investments, your wedding ring. You know what I mean? All of these things are of value. So it's a highly emotional time right now. Very emotional when it comes to the assets of the world. And not just of the world, but our own assets. And that's, yeah, obviously. We had to live through all of this hyperinflation during the pretendency. And so now it's really kicking in and impacting people at this point, right? Because, like, say in my state, and I know this happened all over the country last year, my state depends a lot on tourism. It's that tourism and that spending in the economy that helps a lot of these shops and stores to sustain themselves throughout this long winter when Mainers are kind of broke because they're heating their houses and expenses are higher this time of year. And we got very little tourism. And, of course, the world stage, the show out there, and the ignorance out there. Mills, our governor, tried to blame it on Trump's immigration policies. But the fact is, if you are awake and you are aware, you understand that when you're going through hyperinflation, the only people it hits directly in the moment are the people that are kind of living week to week, right? Which that's most of us. So we live week to week, we pay our bills. If the groceries go up next week, we feel it instantaneously. But when you have people that are making, I'm not saying the rich, right? Not them. I'm talking about people that are making a decent living and they have savings accounts and they've got decent amount of money in their bank accounts and they've got their credit cards and stuff. When the hyperinflation first starts, they may not notice it because they still have a reserve, right? So sometimes it takes a while for the result of what happened 2 years ago or 3 years ago to hit the mass populace. It's already hit the little guy because it hits him in the pocket immediately. But it can take a while. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that 4 years of inflation has finally started to blanket everybody, of like the middle class, upper class, not just the the poor guy down here, right? It's hit everybody. And so travel didn't happen this year. And a lot of extra spending didn't happen this year. And so it's really being felt, not just by people like you and I. It's starting to be felt to a bigger capacity. And that's what you're seeing in this card here. You're seeing this guy holding on to what he's got, kind of hoarding it. And you're seeing her going batshit crazy beside him because he's controlling the situation. And you're seeing that some have and some are at the mercy of others, and it's really imbalanced. So a certain amount of work has to go in to balance this situation. When you look at this reading, what are we going to say this is about? I would say it's about our banking system, our money system, our assets. Okay? So people are getting really, really triggered over our assets. Now, emotional, right? Things seem dark. So gauging by this reading, I would say that there's maybe a lot of black pilling going on around our financial system. And there's also probably a lot of red pilling going on about our financial system, and probably also hopium, because there always is. But with this 4, that's an indication that right now, as we speak, balance is being worked on, because 4 is doing the work to create balance. So balance is being worked on to bring balance into this system. But it's highly triggering. So listen, this is what I do know. I know silver is on the rise as far as price. I know that there's talk of bringing down prescriptions, which, geez, I hope most of you aren't taking prescriptions. But some people really do need them, and some things do help them. But there's talk of bringing down the cost of prescriptions. There's talk, Donald Trump talked about bringing down the housing costs. And he's going to work on that next year, and that needs to happen because the kids today, at least in my country, can't afford, they don't even dare to dream of buying a house because it's just a big disappointment. They can't afford it. So there is talk of things happening, and, gas being down, but only certain states are feeling that. We don't see that here. Because remember, that goes back to the hands of the governors and sovereign states being sovereign unto themselves, and the taxes that each state puts on things. So there's still a lot of problems. We can talk about oil costs being down, but some of us don't see that because the state that we live in is run by the majority of being blue, right? So it is causing some emotional, honest emotional outrage when it comes to the talk of what can be done to balance the finances and how people are feeling about it. And, I know it's true. I've talked to people that really have good paying jobs, and they've always done really well up until this year. And they're like, we can't even afford to feed our family at this point because the reserves have run out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a highly emotional time right now when it comes to the finances. Now, let me tell you, though, in this layout, it's saying above the emotions with this Ace of Swords, you got to be really smart. You got to tap in, okay? You got to start using your intuition with this Ace of Swords to see very clearly. And, I mean, so pull out of the black pilling and the hopium and even maybe the red pilling and go higher with this Ace of Swords. And really try to just be still and tap in. Because what's going on right now, you know, we have... Now we're going to come together and we're going to read this at angles, right? So what's going on right now is we are on point and on path. So this is a dark time financially. And it's meant to be. And it feels like we're skating on thin ice. It does. And it's a dark time financially. But work is going in to create balance there. Okay, it's been manifesting, you know, there's been a journey to try to right all of this imbalance for a long time with this Queen of Wands, okay? And as the Queen of Wands, it's up to us to get a hold of our emotions and manifest new beginnings as to what we want. We don't want to be manifesting bad stuff, okay? Don't manifest more craziness for yourself. Really work to balance your own household and your finances. Like, be incredibly smart right now as that Queen of Wands, all right? Be very smart. Work to balance your own household. Work to balance your own finances. Don't be wasteful. Be very, very smart with this Queen of Wands. Because right now, over this financial system, we have this 4, where there's work being done to create balance, but there's also the devil sitting right over this financial system. Okay? So the devil's sitting right there over our financial system being super, super tricky. So what is that a warning of? Well, that's a warning of a lot of things, you guys. That would be a warning of be very careful what you're investing in even. Like, you know, do your due diligence, really research, know what you're doing. Safeguard what you are doing, right? So let's say I'm not a financial advisor and I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to pull scenarios here that would maybe make sense. All right. So if the devil's sitting over the money system, and let's say you are invested in silver or gold. Let's use that for an example. Make sure that your silver and your gold are maybe in your hands, right? Because he has it in his hands. And if it's not in your hands and it's in a vault, or something like that where a company's holding it for you, make sure that this is a reputable place, okay? Make sure when you're buying silver or you're buying gold, if you're doing that online, that you're doing it through reputable sources. Make sure if you're going into investments that you're learning as much as you can and you're safeguarding them and you're doing the right thing by yourself, by your investments and you and your family. Okay? So be very careful because the devil's sitting right there. And then that would also mean, let me just think, be very careful of institutions that might be supposedly getting a hold of you and saying, oh, like your bank, or maybe the companies that are holding your investments or whatever. So if you're receiving texts, emails, phone calls, make damn sure that you're not just giving away your information to tricksters pretending to be the institutions that are holding your monies and your investments. Does this make sense? Am I making sense? This is a super, super, super tricky time, you guys. And so be very, very careful. Be very, very aware. Be very, very diligent. And you know, try not to get caught up in too much of the emotion. And, you know, come back to this, kind of retreat, ground with this hermit, ground, and tap in. So ground deep, tap in, and really get yourself centered so that you can make good decisions. Don't allow yourself to be too emotional, and don't allow the crazy making or the crazy making. We've got 2 crazy making times. So it really is it's very, very important to be very logical and very smart and discerning right now when it comes to all of your investments, okay? We're on point and on path, but that doesn't mean that bad things can't happen. As you see, that goes up diagonally, okay? So this is a dark time. Remember that. It's a dark time on this path. So you got to have your hands out in front of you, feeling your way and being very careful. But do know that safety measures are in place for this dark time that we're going through right now. It's a dark time. So I would say with these, remember that safety measures are in place. This safety measures are in place card. Remember with this retreating card, crazy making card, with this on point, on path, dark time card, and with this has been manifesting for a long time card, that possibly more craziness is to come. And you're going to be emotionally triggered, and you're going to be emotionally triggered over worldly things, assets, pleasures, things. So it's going to seem, because these 2 cards are facing each other, it looks like it could feel a little darker with time to come. But the secondary message with that is a lot of it's tricks, okay? I think I've gotten the full message in this area through to you. So now let's look again at this Ace of Swords. So we have to be smart, we have to be discerning, we have to use good words that help build ourselves up and good thoughts that help build ourselves up. We have to see with new, clear eyes and vision, like you can get that higher perspective from this hermit. But don't forget that the path here, the on point, on path card, goes straight up to that Ace of Swords also. So as we're in the middle of this situation where that might seem very dark, might seem sketchy, very sketchy, way off balanced, emotionally triggering because there's so many tricks out there with that devil sitting right over us, that we're about to start something new because she's right above us. So we're about to start something new. And she's got her sword up, okay? And she's saying, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and now I'm going to start something new. And this Queen of Rods right in that she's facing, saying she's had a plan in motion for a long time, and now she's going to begin. And what is she facing? What is she looking straight at? She's looking at the devil. So she sees him, And he's too busy looking down, being tricky, to see what's coming for him. And she's got her sword raised in a very high vibrational way. So we're about to start something new in a very high vibrational way. So think of technology when it comes to this. Something new in a very high vibrational way that's going to wipe the shit out of this devil, okay? And he can't stop it because he can't see it coming. And the plan has been ongoing for a long time, and we're about to step into that new phase of things. But right now, you guys, currently, you got to be really super careful. Be very careful with your assets, okay? So, with that being said, let me just pull a card off the devil and a card off the new beginning. And we'll end it here. So I hope you found a little bit of value in this. Let's recap. It's a crazy making time. It feels pretty dark, but we are on point and on path. This is a time that's meant to trigger you emotionally. Tap in so that you don't become so emotionally triggered. Know that as sketchy as it feels, there have been safeguards and precautions put in place to keep us above water. We have a lot of shit going on in this earthly pleasures section. Be very careful that you don't get tricked out of your investments, your earthly pleasures, don't get scammed, you guys. Be very careful. Don't get scammed. That's the biggest way that I can put it. Don't get scammed when it comes to anything of value. Don't allow yourself to get scammed. Retreat. Look with a higher perspective. Tap in. Stay grounded. Stay courageous. Keep your vitality and your vibration high. All of those things. Know that we're ending cycles. We are on point and on path. This has been a long time coming. We are about to start something new. When it comes to all of this, though, that is going to make it extremely hard for these tricksters, okay? So let's take a look. For right now, we're still in that dark time. We're in that dark time in between this new beginning and this devil card, okay? So let me shuffle these up. New things are sitting directly above us, and tricks are sitting directly above us. And both of these things have been sitting there for a very long time. And this is where we're going to start moving towards wiping out those tricks. So let's see what else we get here. One more. Justice is coming. All right, so what are they telling us? Giving us a higher arcana card. What's the new thing that's going to be happening? Well, this new thing that's going to be happening is going to bring justice. It's going to square things up, bring in a higher frequency, very high vibrational, higher frequency. Oh my goodness, my thing's beeping. I'm just going to let it. But it's going to serve a purpose of justice, this new technology, okay? All right, so what's covering that? We have the night. Let me just show you, because you can't see it from down there. But we brought justice in, and that covers the new beginning, okay? So this new technology, this new thing that's going to combat this trickiness is just. It's very high vibrational. With that 8, it's abundant, it's just. And then we have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is a warrior, is a very feeling warrior. And this justice has come in because there are people who are willing to fight, and it lays over both the devil and the Four of Pentacles, the earthly balance. So there are people that are willing to fight. They're very emotionally driven with the Knight, because that's a warrior, and this is the Cups. They're emotionally driven to snuff out these tricky things and work really hard to bring balance into this earthly pleasures sector. And it's only just, and it's very high vibrational, because right in the middle of this sketchy of this on point, on path card that we have covering both of these things, there has been a war going on, the dark and the light, over our financial system. It's trying to bring justice to the dark, okay? Because if you look at this Two of Swords, the Two of Swords, the dark side is facing justice. The dark side is what gets people very emotional. The dark side is facing the hoarding and looking up at this trickiness. And so there's a fight to bring balance into something that's been very dark. Okay, so people are very passionate and very much wanting to fight to do what? To bring in the light into what? This damn financial system and get rid of these tricks. So there's something higher coming in, you guys. But right now, there's that overlap. There's that overlap where you're waiting to see the new beginning, the justice phase that snuffs out these tricks. But until then, just be very smart, you guys. Don't give your information away. Don't fall victim to scams. And for whatever the reason, they want us to know that right now. So pay attention. Be very discerning. Educate yourself. All right, so now let's see. Now that I've read all of that, let's end with one card. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to have to, hold on. I've got to pause you. Hold on. Can't take the beeping. I can't stand it. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not. That's the pellet stove needing to be filled. All right, so let's end this with one card, you guys. So something new is coming in right now. We're still like in a really sketchy time. And, don't forget with that Hermit card, she's looking up at this Four of Pentacles, which is everything upon the earth, right? And, she's feeling like everything out there is kind of crazy making. So she has to retreat, ground, get herself collected, and look with a higher view. And I imagine that really probably stands for everything going on right now. Like a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, a little of that. Because there's so many different things. So just stay really well grounded, very logical, very discerning, very diligent. Protect your assets. Be very smart. All of that, okay, you guys? All right, let's see. One more, I think, and we'll cut them, and we'll get left with one card. That is really sticking, so we're just going to see what it is. That one was sticking. Balance and simplicity. Okay, so that was sticking. Let's pull this. All right, so what are they leaving us with? They're leaving us with this Ten of Rods. And so they're telling us, we're ending things that weren't working. We really are ending things. We're picking up these dead sticks. that have been breaking our backs, that had no life in them whatsoever, and we're ending stuff. And so as that happens, this card that wanted to fall is the Four of Rods. So as we end things that weren't working, with this card with it, and they're both rods, this is simplicity. So be very simplistic, okay? We talked about that in the big read with that Four of Pentacles. Don't be wasteful, okay? Be frugal, you know. Don't be wasteful. Just work to create balance in your own home, in your own life, and really the biggest thing that I want to say is don't be wasteful. That's the thing that keeps coming in. Don't be wasteful. I keep feeling that. All right, yeah. Don't be wasteful. Bring balance to yourself. Be very simplistic. Simplicity is needed with this card to become balanced and find the things that really matter, right? Because with this, you're finding what truly matters. And it's not things. It's not things. All right, so then we come down and we have that 3, rejoice. We have that 3. She's a major arcana card. So balance your life, heal your life, be joyful. Be very, very joyful. Be very simplistic. See what really matters, okay? So be simplistic, heal your life, pull in that joy vibration. Then we have the Hierophant. In this deck, for me, the Hierophant is a very godly man. He's a very spiritual man. He is very connected to the universe. He's super passionate. He's super courageous. He keeps his vibrations very high during great times of change because he stays highly connected, all right? He's also well-grounded. He's got himself cloaked in red. He's sitting on the checkerboard with the black and the white, very connected to the universe, very well grounded to the earth. And his mission is really, he's very passionate about doing good works, doing good things. So stay very well balanced with this in your physical day-to-day life. Think of the things that are simplistic, that truly matter. Stay in a place of joy. Understand with this Empress that healing is needed. Also understand with this Empress that for as much healing as she's doing and as many blooms as she's creating in the background and in her own world with the energetic healing that she's doing, that this is a world of contrast and there are many thorns. And those thorns right now, you guys, are part of what's creating this great change with this 5, bringing in the chaos. So keep your vibrations very high. Stay in joy, right? Stay simplistic, stay balanced. Keep self-healing, keep sending it out because she's healing everyone. Keep the faith, stay very highly connected. Keep your intentions positive. He intends to save people, right? That's his intention. So keep your intentions very positive. We've got these 2 4s, one right down below the other. This is simplicity and balance in your physical day-to-day life, right? Think about the things that really matter. Stay in joy. Keep doing the self-healing. Realize this is a world of contrast. Keep your vibration high as we go through great change. There's an ignition happening right now with this Four of Rods. People's crowns are waking up. People are coming out of their slumber, and they're kind of being poked awake. And so so those of us that are already there need to stay very balanced, enjoy healing ourselves, viewing the contrast, keeping our intentions high, staying tapped in, keeping our homes and hearth balanced. Don't be wasteful, be smart. We're going through some great change. This is part of the balancing act that's creating the Great Awakening. And we are very close to completely finishing off these cycles, you guys. So with all of that, I'm just going to pull a card. We've been on here about an hour, pretty darn close. If not exactly an hour. I think we've been on here about an hour. So one more card and we're done. I know I said that I was done before, but I just felt like there was more message. And when you feel like there's more message, you kind of got to bring it, right? So it's going to be very important in this time of endings that we stay joyful, continue to do our own healing, view everything, understand there is contrast in this world. While things bloom, there are many, many, many thorns. We're going through a period of chaos, great change. Stay grounded, stay high vibrational, stay in joy, stay happy. Keep things simplistic. Don't be wasteful. Think about the things that truly matter. Balance that out. There are things that are coming that will poke people awake. It's part of creating balance. It's part of the great wake up with the hair follicles beginning to light up and ignite. And it's part of bringing forward the hidden knowledge. So there's knowledge that's buried and it's going to come up. So we're coming into quite a time. So just keep your vibrations high and know with that hermit that we got, I don't know what's to come, but you see some stuff within the earthly pleasures section. They're talking about information here. They're talking about ending cycles. So there's a lot. Looks like we're heading towards quite a journey. And we need to be diligent so that we don't get off kilter ourselves, right? So there's a lot that we need to be diligent about right now. All right. Queen of Wands, manifest, 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 manifest. Manifest what you want. Manifest, manifest, manifest the world you want. The things you want, what you want to see, what you want to hear. Manifest, manifest, manifest. That's our last bit of advice with that Queen of Wands. She manifests like no tomorrow. So that's what they're leaving us with. And, you know, be willing. She's a fighter. She's a warrior. She's not just a queen that sits on her throne. She's a warrior. So, you know, she's willing to do what she needs to do in order to manifest her dreams. So that's what they're leaving us with. Being ready to do what we need to do to manifest our dreams. So if there's places that you can stand up and do something, do it. Like create the motion. With the Queen of Wands, you're always creating the motion, right? So you have a thought, you speak it into being, you start moving in that direction. So like if I say today I'm going to weed out the back room and I'm going to balance that back room out and take an inventory of what I need, what I don't. I'm just using this as an example, right? The thought would have come in, I would have spoken it, and then I would go about the business of doing the work. And as I'm doing the work, I will be envisioning what a bonus or a benefit it will be that I'm finally getting to that. And you can apply that to every single thing in your life, right? So balance out your pantry, balance out your checkbook, balance out the things that you need and don't need, balance out your relationships, balance out your feelings. Step into the magical pieces of yourself with this Hierophant and that Empress. Manifest what it is. Be willing to do the work. So if you don't like what's going on in your town, let's say there's something going on in your town that your town politics, you don't like it. Be willing to get out and go to a meeting and make your voice heard and do what you need to do to make the change. It's basically what they tell us with this queen, because she's a fighter. She's willing to do what she needs to do to manifest her dreams. All right, you guys, I hope you found a little bit of value in that. Should be interesting to see what we're stepping into as we end the year out, for them to give us that type of a reading. Or maybe what we've already stepped into and I just don't know it because I haven't been paying attention. Because I have been literally, pretty focused with what's going on, what's really going on in my community, my county, and what's going on with my family, and what's going on in my own home and with me and my animals. So that's been my focus. So I'm not sure about all of the other, except for that I do have a friend that keeps messaging me telling me that silver is going up, 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 up. And I think this morning's message, I think he said $68 an ounce right now. So anyway, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you get a little value from it. Anyway, I love you all very much, and I hope that you're having an amazing season. Remember, make this season what you want. Be very intentional. I know that coming awake and a lot of the stories that you may hear around this season can bring people down and make them think this is a terrible season. But that's giving our power away. Once we become aware of whatever, we have to understand with this awareness that now we're even more aware of the power that we hold within us, right? So we are very powerful. We are very magical. And the universe wants us to keep our vibrations very high and be very intentional. The last time I came on, the message was about not lying to ourselves, not allowing ourselves to be pulled into this where they're trying to trigger your emotions and make you feel. Don't fall for that. Don't stand in your power, right? Remember how magical you are, and it's all about your intentions. So make this season, as we end 2025 and we celebrate Christmas and we move into 2026, make it as high vibing as you possibly can, and be so intentional with your celebrations and your love and your rejoicing and whatever it is that you're doing. And if you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate something else, I'm just going to say happy holidays to everyone, because there are many, many things being celebrated right now. All right, you guys. I love you all. Stay high vibing, and I'll see you all soon. I'm sorry I haven't been on. These caffeine withdrawals really suck, you guys. All right, I will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.